Well, welcome into the beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands, and it's paradise, and it's the Pac-12's Washington State Cougars against the Big East number 22 Creighton Blue Jays. Good evening, everybody, here from the Virgin Islands. Trevor Williams with you, and alongside me, the coach, Kevin Lehman. Coach, this has been a really fun tournament so far. We said it could go chalk, but if there's going to be an upset, it's up to the Cougars now.
They're all that's left.
We'll flip over, take a look at the Creighton Blue Jays, and they're coming off a game the head coach, Greg McDermott, called maybe one of his best at Creighton, a win against number 9 Wisconsin, and that was huge there in Omaha.
I'm not sure that Creighton needed to fly down here after that win because they were on top of the world.
Let's take a look at a couple of the guys to watch. We'll start first with Washington State. They got a double-double machine, and that's Josh Hawkinson.
Well, Josh Hawkins, outstanding junior year, but he's come back even stronger this year.
And now for Creighton, Maurice Watson Jr. He needs almost no introduction. He is a preseason All-Big East selection.
Well, Greg McDermott told me about Maurice Watson Jr. when he came from Boston College. And
his numbers for Creighton could finish with a slam, and it does for the Blue Jays. Arebu on the breakout. Hawkinson, you betcha 1,000 for Josh Hawkinson, and he does it at his dad's tournament. Nezuquezi's got a mismatch, rolls off it, and he's blocked. Now it's pulled out in transition. Satterwhite to the rack, and he'll finish with 2 hands. Patton the chance for a three-point play, the redshirt freshman from Omaha. And he's off the back end of the iron. Missed that three-point play opportunity. Highly touted 5-star recruit out of high school.
Well, if you talk to the Creighton staff, they are concerned, they're not concerned, but they kind of project that they're not going to have him for 4 years. Justin Patton gets a lot of looks by NBA scouts.
The guy the Cougars keen on with it at the point right now, Malachi Flynn, the true freshman. First true freshman to run point since Ike Arebu did it for the Cougars. He's only got 5 to shoot. Now he's defended by Patton, has to go to King. King doesn't see the shot clock, that's a violation. And that brings this home crowd, we might as well call it, for Creighton to its feet.
Now, there's a lot of blue in the stands. It's one of the biggest contingencies of fans to come to the Paradise Jam. There's been blue all over the hotel, all over the beaches, and now in the University of Virgin Islands Sports and Fitness Center.
The officials tonight, Matt Potter, Alvin Cox, and Drake Ebsel, and another 3, and again it's Huff.
Well, we said Huff has played on this court before 2 years ago, wearing a different jersey for Nevada, and he is right in his rhythm.
And that's Darian King caught up. He's going to travel, and this is something Creighton did so well against Wisconsin. They forced 5 turnovers in that game's opening minutes. And Maurice Watson Jr. get to work it up into the front court. Greg McDermott gives him a couple commands. 421 and 267, the career record for McDermott. He's got the best winning record of a Creighton coach in their first 6 seasons. Clifford challenging, but Huff finishing, and 8 points early for Huff.
How about Huff? He's in the groove.
Washington State trying to find an answer. Creighton starting to roll right now, up by 8. Clifford's going to go back to work. Active hands almost taken away from the Cougs. Now King throws it free. Foster's on the dribble to the rack, and he can't get it. Now the Cougars, they'll race the other direction. They got a man advantage for the moment. Hawkinson, a little room, a little strong. Clifford pulls down a board, going up. And again, off the mark. Cougars got to be finishing those, they're going to have a chance.
Well, Connor Clifford looked like he's trying to draw some contact. It didn't appear, and he misfired point blank.
And now it's knocked out of bounds by Ike Arebu. Creighton will hold. Washington State will make a sub. Charles Cowson for Darian King. Cowson will work as an off guard. These teams, they work at this pace tonight. They're going to need a lot of subs.
And we watched the Cougars defend this OB play. That is not the shot that Greg McDermott wants. In fact, he's going to the bench. Patton's going to take a seat.
7-footer, never good when he's shooting from that far out, especially with the shooting guards that Creighton has. Shooting in a clip of 44% from 3, and it's Connor Clifford trying to get a 3-point play. And it looks early like Ernie Kent really wants to key in on Clifford.
Well, you got to attack the big man, especially if he's a shot blocker. And now we see Zach Hansen in for the freshman Justin Patton, and I would imagine Coach McDermott's going to have a few words for his big man.
And this is quite a big trade. You go senior for the freshman, the Pierre South Dakota native at 6'9", but a great shooter a season ago, 65.5%. And Clifford knows all about that, shooting the free throw here for Washington State. He ranked second in the Cougars single-season record book. He hit 64% of his shots last year, and he caps a three-point play right there.
Well, Hansen has been really effective for the Blue Jays. He came in that game against Wisconsin, 7 points in 11 minutes.
And Huff rises up, trying to add to his early 8. Arebu pulls down a board. He's a guard that can do that. Very athletic, but he gets poked from behind. Now it's numbers for Creighton. Could finish with a slam, and it does for the Blue Jays. And the Cougars right away want to roll with it. You're going to see that all night long after makes.
Well, they've got to value the ball because Creighton is poking it loose and getting some easy runouts. It's good to play fast, but you cannot turn it over.
Arebu's going to try to go up and under. Now he kicks instead. Callison's all alone on the wing. Trey's no good. Pulled down by Zierden. Checked in along with Hansen when Creighton made its first change to the bench. Hatchin able to get Thomas. Steps inside. Mid-range jumper won't go. The Cougars will cruise with Flynn. Finding Clifford. Rolling through. Nice move by the big man, and he finishes.
You can see what Ernie's going to do. They're going to slip those posts, come out, ball screen, slide him to the front of the rim. They've got some easy baskets.
Well, Clifford's got 7 early for the Cougars, but it's the Blue Jays by 5. We'll take a break here on Flow Hoops, come back with more of the final game of day 1 of the Paradise Jam after this, here from the U.S. Virgin Islands at St. Thomas. Back here in St. Thomas, look at those Creighton fans, and you know it's a big deal when they chartered a 174-seat plane. It had every seat filled. That's because there were fans on that plane with the team.
Well, they had a little trouble getting down here, too, with that charter plane. But you think about Creighton and the CenturyLink, they are 10th in the nation last year in attendance with 15,000 plus. They would have been more, 17,000, except they lost some attendance in their 2 NIT games. But great following in Omaha for the Jays.
Washington State, it's what they're hoping to get in Pullman. Ernie Kent's talked about it. 14-9, the Blue Jay lead out of the first media timeout. And we talked about right now, points off turnovers as Viante Daniels going to give one up for the Cougars on a travel on the perimeter.
Well, if you look at what they call the lower box stats, that's off turnovers. Creighton with 7-0 for the Cougars. Fast break points, the Jays 4-0.
And Washington State, a team that had been highly touted, only had given up 2 fast break points all season coming in, and it's a 3 canned by Marcus Foster.
Well, there's a misdirection play that McDermott called after that timeout. Take it back to the strong side, and Watson back to Foster on the weak side.
Hawkinson sets his high pick. Open off the roll from the baseline. Jumper rattles out. And Foster lost the handle on it. As a byproduct, you might see that just from time to time with the pace.
You can see the disgust there on Greg McDermott's face because you just do not like to turn the ball over. In that situation there, he's having a little discussion with the official. But if you're watching Washington State now, they're getting back. They're sitting almost 5 back in transition, 4.5, what I would call it, trying to get their defense set. The problem has been the live ball turnovers. Creighton has got built up the lead because of that.
Flynn hits Hawk at the top, gonna try a 3. He can shoot there, but misses that try. Watson Jr. and the Blue Jays trying to add to an 8-point advantage. Nice passing to Zierden on the cut. That's a beautiful pass dialed up by Watson.
And Zierden started 31 of 31 games last year. He's coming off the bench, so that is a young man that understands. Him and Watson are on the same page.
And Zierden triggers a 3, and now he's got 5 just like that. Zierden gets involved. Watson got him started, and on the great assist as well, adding 2 already, his nation's active leading total. And Flynn can't connect on his 3-point try. Here come the Jays again with tempo.
As Zierden with the knee brace on, he had off-season surgery. This is a deep bench for the Blue Jays.
And now Hagner pops a 3, and a timeout called by Ernie Kent. And Washington State is feeling the wrath of the 3-point shooting for Creighton. They've been so good coming in. over 43%, and they just keep making them.
They do it a number of ways. This is just a pick and pop move as Wagner steps back. The big man, he is a stretch 4. Ripples the net.
And what do? 5 for 5 from beyond the arc for Creighton to start it off. And Ernie Kent and his Cougs 0 for 4, and they're down 14 in just the first 6 minutes and change of this one.
Well, you got to have better communication on the perimeter. You got to come out and make those perimeter players bounce before they shoot, because those 5 they've hit, Trev, they've been easy looks, step-in threes, uncontested.
Washington State trying to find an answer. Creighton, and with head coach Doug McDermott, they've done great against the Pac-12, 11-9 against Pac-12 teams. Washington State, on the other hand, has really struggled against top 25s, but ironically, their only win over a top 25 under Ernie Kent came against UCLA last season, their only conference win. You know more than anyone, Kevin, just rebuilding a program so difficult, and Ernie Kent right in the midst of that at Washington State.
Well, you need some marquee wins to build confidence in your players and your fan base.
And the foul's going to be on the floor. It'll be against Davion Mintz, and he's a new check-in